So this will be a meditation to develop a greater awareness of and connection with our feelings and emotions. This is the long version of the practice, which will last maybe around 30 minutes in all 5 stages. The beginning and the end of the meditation will be marked by 3 consecutive bells. And the transition between each of the 5 stages of this meditation will be marked by a single bell, a single bell. So finding a quiet space where you're unlikely to be disturbed, turning off your phone, letting your family and friends know that this is your quiet time for yourself, and they will be fine for a short while without you. You can sit in a chair, but use something like a dining room chair, a straight back chair where the body can be upright, your spine, your shoulders relaxed, yet back straight, the top of the head resting lightly on the shoulders, the top of the back. A chair about the right height where you can have your feet comfortably on the floor, or if you need to, have your feet on a pillow or a cushion if the chair is a little high for you. If you have a lot of physical discomfort, you can do this lying down. But you're obviously more likely to go to sleep lying down, so sitting is perhaps better. You can sit on the floor. There's no real advantage to sitting on the floor, but if you want to do this, then possibly using cushions to keep your hips, your pelvis higher than your knees, so you can breathe comfortably and fully in your tummy and your belly. The breath can sink deep in the body without any constriction. You can also kneel if you want to use a kneeling position, but again the same thing where you can sit still. Any constriction around your waist, if you're wearing a tight belt, please loosen the belt a little bit. So to begin with, taking a few deep breaths. Just coming here fully to this present experience. Letting go of any previous activities, any conversations, any sense of rushing about, and just being here fully present in this room, in this body, in this moment. So in the first stage of this practice, to develop a positive emotional attitude, we focus on ourselves to begin with as the first recipient of good energy, of a kind, loving, caring awareness. Perhaps seeing yourself as a character in a film or a narrative, and you also deserve to be loved and respected and admired. You're worthy of all the best things there are, worthy of affection, worthy of respect. And before we can really have genuine compassion for others, we must have a solidarity, a authenticity with ourselves, with our own emotion, before we can express a genuine generosity and altruism. So just coming back to how we feel, whatever it may be, in our bodies, in our hearts and minds, right now. How we feel today, how we feel this moment. How we feel physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever that feeling may be. And if it's not feeling that great, if we're very tired or fatigued or depressed or anxious or stressed, then at least being authentic and noticing, acknowledging this is our state of mind, our state of body, mind, and connecting with it. Noticing that we're also breathing in, breathing out. If we have any physical discomfort or pain, then just noticing where that is in the body, which place, and going to meet that sensation with a warm, kind, tender awareness, connecting with that place, breathing into that place, shoulders or back or neck, wherever it may be. Breathing in on the in-breath and breathing out, letting go on the out-breath. Staying fully present, going to meet our body situation as it is right now. We're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to make it better, necessarily. We're just going to connect with it. Being fully present, inhabiting our body, breathing in, breathing out. Allowing that sensation to be fully experienced, to be fully felt, even if it's an uncomfortable one or a painful one. Going to meet it quite gently. And if it's stress or fatigue, or we have multiple sites of pain, then just being in our body, keeping the head straight, shoulders relaxed, mouth slightly open, jaw relaxed, tongue soft in the mouth, and just noticing any discomfort, taking the breath there, breathing in, letting go, releasing on the out-breath. And within this experience, try to look for something, some aspect of it, which is pleasurable, even perhaps enjoyable. It might be a sense that we can finally relax. We can finally be present to our own physical experience. We actually have some time and space, some peace and quiet, and we can finally be here and meditate. Might be a sense of relief. We don't have to run around to pretend and try to function, and we can now just be totally real and experience our body fully. Might be a sense of warmth in our hands, a sense of gentleness and softness in the breath, that at last we can breathe fully. We can let go of the muscle tension around our shoulders and neck and jaw. Perhaps a sense around the heart that we're being honest and authentic. trying to see some dimension to our experience that is not so bad, perhaps quite pleasant. Head up, head lifting up as if by a thread to the top of the head, back of the neck long. We're not trying to change anything, we're not trying to judge anything. We're just noticing our experience. Seeing how it is, no judgment, no labels. We don't have to give it a name or think about it. Just to feel it, just to connect to it. With a warm, tender awareness. In the second stage of this practice, maintaining this connection with our own feelings and physical experience, we invite in a friend, a close friend, a loved one into our field of experience. Someone for whom we already have a warm, positive feeling for. And we see them or think of them in whatever way works for us, their name, a picture of them. Someone who we feel happy in their company, a good friend, we like being with them, we feel emotionally supported and just good when we're around them. So just thinking of them, and this is usually a good thing to do. And as we sit here in our own body experience, breathing in, breathing out, then realizing that our friend also breathes the same as us. They will also have some discomfort, some physical impediment to a lesser extent, something just like us. Their health will not be perfect, just like us. They will become stressed and depressed occasionally, just like us. They will have successes and victories, disappointments in their lives. Their lives will be complicated in the same way that our lives are complicated. There's a great deal that we have in common, a great deal that we seem to share and can relate to. We can relate to each other. Our friend, perhaps why they're our friend. We're not trying to change our friend, we're not trying to do anything. We're just letting them be just as they are, seeing them for who and what they are, just as they are. We don't want anything from them. We're just recognizing that this is our friend and how perhaps similar we are in many aspects. They will also have some degree of suffering in their experience, emotionally or physically, and also some joy and happiness, the same as us. Feeling connected. sending out a warm, positive regard to our friend, a sense of goodwill, wishing them well, in the same way that we would wish ourselves well, and also realizing that we must wish ourselves as well as we wish our friends. Staying in our body, staying with the breath. Any pain or discomfort building up, just taking the breath to that place, noticing and letting go with the out-breath, letting any tension release, and realizing that our good friend must also have a body that's less than perfect and have a similar experience, physically and emotionally. In the third stage of this practice, to develop emotional contact and positive energy, we now let the image of our friend disappear, fade away, and we just come back to our own experience again, sitting here, connecting with our own body, any discomfort, any pain, any fatigue, any stress, breathing into it, letting go, just being authentic, being real. And for the third stage, we bring to mind a neutral person, someone who we may work with, someone who we know by sight. We may know their name, we may not know their name. Perhaps the person in the local shop or the bus driver, someone at work. This is a representative of humanity, but we don't really have a connection with them. We may not know their name or who they are. But just imagine this person, choosing someone quite quickly, anybody. It may be someone you're studying with, someone on this course if you're doing the mindfulness training, someone who you haven't really got to know very well. Maybe you'd like to get to know them, but you haven't had time to talk to them very much. So just visualizing this person, having a sense of them. And this person also breathes as we breathe. They breathe in, they breathe out. This person also has hopes and dreams, aspirations and disappointments. They experience their lives in a way not so different to the way we do to ours. This person will almost certainly have some limitations to their physical health, or have less than perfect health, the same as us. They will also experience aches and pains, fatigue and stress, just like we do. This person will also have good days and bad days, like we do. This person will also have creative, positive energy, and will be able to do things and be charismatic and have their good moments, just like we do. The life of this person, who we probably don't know very well, is also going to be complex, multi-dimensional, just like our life. And even though this person is a representative of the vast mass of humanity, people who we may see as objects rather than people, because we don't know them, there's actually a lot that we have in common. We're not so different. Their lives are complex. Some aspects of their life will, his or her life will be painful, some pleasurable. There's actually far more we have in common, far more similarities and differences between us. Breathing in with an awareness of this person we've chosen, breathing out with kindness. This is not an object, this is a human being. This person we've recognized, acknowledged as a person. Taking our recognition, cognition to this individual. Seeing the potentiality of their humanity that we may not have realized before. Breathing in, breathing out, staying present in this experience. If we lose our focus on thinking of the neutral person in this third stage, that's fine, just come back to our physical experience. Shoulders relax, mouth and jaw relaxed. Gradually allowing the image of this neutral person to fade. And now we come to the fourth stage of this practice. And now we choose someone with whom we may have some difficulty, or we sense they have difficulty with us. Maybe they don't seem to like us very much, they ignore us. Perhaps not best to choose someone with whom we've just had a blazing row, well, unless we're very good at this, but someone we feel some emotional frustration or friction. I'm sure we can think of someone, a family member. Choosing someone quite quickly, a single person, and bringing them into our field of awareness. An image of them, their name, just seeing an image and holding that image. Perhaps seeing that whatever we dislike about them, whatever behavior pattern or mental attitude, that, well, sometimes we get into a similar state ourselves. But anyway, just seeing that they also have a physical body with all its limitations. They also become stressed and distressed just like we do. They probably also have their anxieties and fears, insecurities, just like we do. They also breathe in and breathe out, just like we do. They have a body prone to discomfort, aches and pains, prone to weaknesses, things not working quite right, just like we do. This person with whom we have difficulty will also have quite challenging, difficult, painful aspects to their life, painful experiences. They will also suffer, just as we suffer. And they will have joy and pleasure and enjoyment. And they will have their friends and their family and their loved ones, just as we do. We're actually not that different. We have far more in common than we may have realized. Far more similarities than differences. And if we really can't get past our feelings of aversion or dislike, then just noticing this and letting it be. And this is how it is for this difficult person we have brought to mind. Just letting our feelings arise and disappear. If we do have anger or whatever it may be, resentment, betrayal. There are many emotions, variations of hatred or betrayal, quite strong destructive emotions. Occasionally we all have them, occasionally. But letting them come into being and pass away, letting them go. There's no damage for a brief, fleeting emotion if it doesn't fester and become entrenched. So just realizing that everything will arise and then will disappear, and everything is fluid and everything will change. But if we can work with this visualization of this person, then trying to see the common ground, trying to see their dimension, their life through their eyes and their world, seeing things differently to ourselves, seeing how they would see, how they would feel, and then we can understand. Understanding is a great gift. But also acknowledging how we feel, being true to our own physical, emotional, visceral condition and state right now, staying present in our body. And in this fifth, last stage of this kindly awareness practice, we bring to mind all of the people we've chosen, starting with ourselves, of course, our own emotional state, a sense of goodwill and positivity and positive, emotional, joyful energy, creative energy for ourselves. Also bringing to mind our close friend, the person we chose in the second stage. And again feeling that warmth, good vibes, good energy, happiness we feel with our friend. Wishing them well. We bring to mind the neutral person we chose in the third stage of the meditation, the person who we didn't know very well. We bring them to mind as well. And of course we bring to mind the difficult person, the person with whom we've had friction, either presently or in the past, and we've experienced perhaps rather less unpleasant emotions, dislike or strong aversion. We bring this person to mind. And we realize that all individuals, we all have complex, multi-dimensional lives. We all have suffering at some level, psychological or physical, psychological, emotional, or physical pain. We all have different mental states of happiness and joy, positivity, creativity, and mental states of sorrow and sadness, depression or meanness or selfishness. We can all experience the same range of human emotions, and we do. And there's not that much difference between us, that we ourselves are not special any more than anyone else is special, or if everyone is special, then we are also special. And we have far more in common in that we share this humanity. All these people we've chosen, their health is unlikely to be perfect, and they will also have some limitation to their physical well-being, just like we do. All these people will have stress and distress and find themselves in states of anxiety and insecurity or disappointment or unhappiness from time to time, just like we do. So although the story of our lives may be quite different, our basic human experience will be very similar. If you're studying, if you're at work, you can include the people in your workplace in this fifth stage of the practice. You can include family members, anyone you left out, anyone that you almost chose in the stage before. And extend out your sense of recognition and connection to the whole of humanity. Perhaps you could see the whole planet, realizing just how many human beings there are living on the surface of this planet at this time. Several billion. People in different time zones, on different continents. People asleep, people at work. People enjoying themselves and celebrating life. And people in distress, and people in suffering. People with their friends and family and loved ones. People who are happy. People who are isolated and alienated and don't have enough friends and suffer from that. Just extending our sense of connection outwards to try to include the whole of humanity, all sentient beings, all animals, all mammals, all life. All life has aversion and desire. Even the plant will turn its leaves towards the sun, towards the warmth of sunlight, and avoid the cold and avoid pain. This is a basic biological imperative with any life form, any living matter. Every biological process. Trying to have a sense of our connection in this circle of life, physical body, how interdependent everything is, how interrelated, not independent but interdependent, how much we need to connect in order to survive at every level, cellular, physiological, social, economic, intellectual. We need to be connected to be happy. We are connected even if we don't think we are. The interrelationship of life, the exchange of energy, seeing ourselves as part of life. Our identity, whatever that may be, our physical body does not just stop at the skin. We are connected through the air we breathe, through the breath, thousands of microorganisms on our skin, in our lungs, in our gut. Feeling a positive sense of who we want to be connected to, how we want to connect and recognize others. So extending out our emotional sense of positive regard, well-being, extending this out to all life forms, all people, all animals. Nobody wants to suffer. People or animals. Everybody wants to be happy in some way or another. Everyone wants to avoid pain or distress or suffering as much as they can. Something we do have in common with everything alive. So just realizing this. And coming back to our physical experience again, and again noticing how things are fluid, even physical pain or discomfort, thoughts, emotions as well. Letting them come into being, change, mutate, and move forward and pass away. Also noticing how we do have a tendency to hold on to what is pleasurable and to grasp what makes us happy, and to push away aversion, with aversion to push away pain or discomfort. And yet this can also be something that creates clinging or tension. So just noticing if we do this and letting everything have its place, have its time, yet pass away and change, and being fully present to our experience. So now we gradually bring this meditation practice to a close. taking a few deeper breaths. Being aware of the breath going in to the body, the lungs opening, the belly expanding. Breathing in, breathing out. When we're ready, we can finally open our eyes, maybe making some small movements of the wrists and the feet if we've been sitting still or lying for a while. And thinking about connecting again with the activities the rest of our day, the things we have to do next, but taking this awareness of shared humanity, taking this connection with life, this equanimity, taking this with us into our next activity for the rest of our day. This is the end of this kindly awareness practice.